Out here in the front yard, you can see that color difference back over there. Front, I believe, has fallen victim to some sort of rust disease, something like that. If you get down in here, see on the grass blades there, just those little lesions. And that's kind of working its way all the way across. So I'm gonna put some Disease X down here right quick. Over there too, pretty good. Get that watered in, and hopefully that can help and kind of grow its way out through. So let's hope for the best. So that's Disease X down. Hopefully that'll help it out. If we start to have more issues, we can go grab that propiconazole, that Bio Advanced product. We can put that down maybe next week and try to help this through the rest of the spring. I'm wondering, our water is fairly concentrated with iron, and I'm pretty sure that is rust spot. So I'm wondering if that's kind of a problem with watering with water that is that full of iron and fertilizing and all that stuff, and younger grass isn't quite mature yet. If that's just going to be a problem we have. We'll hope not, but it might be. And back through here, this is starting to come in and try to get a little bit more healthy. So now before I water it again, because again, it's been a couple days without water, so we're gonna give it a good water here this evening. I'm gonna mow over the top of it so that it's not super wet when I do this. And you know, the stuff that is established is getting pretty long. So we'll try to mow the back real quick, and then we'll water the back. And then by the time we're done with that, the front will be done watering, and we can just walk it along the old property again. Man, again, it's too bad we killed all of it, but shout out to Carbon X. Look at the color. Man. None of the other fertilizers we put down gave this kind of color. It's absurd. Look at that. It's almost blue. All right, so it's about time of year. I took an opportunity to bring the height of cut down, and oh boy. Man, look at that. That's wild. And then the grass that's been used to being tall all summer loved it a lot less. Look at this. Look at it. That's absurd and not great, but that's okay. That's what bringing the height down is going to do. So I actually realized I was a couple notches from the top, and I measured my height of cut for the first time, and it was like almost 4 inches, not even at the top setting on that Honda. So that's higher than I want to be. So we brought it down, especially now this fall. The heat's not going to be as much of an issue. We can bring that height of cut down, try to train it for the fall season, keep it short into the winter so we don't have a huge thatch problem. We'll go forward from there. Also, and pretty exciting, did not get stung by bees this time. So back out here behind the garage. And again, you saw a little bit of how this has all been brought down and cut down. And now it is time to do what I'm long overdue for, which is to start to spray this area with weed and grass killer again. I believe my grandpa yesterday when they were all here sprayed a 2,4-D product. I'm not pointing in the right direction, out over there, which will to some degree kill off some of the weeds, but we want to lay waste to everything back here and just burn it all to the ground. Not quite literally. This was the literal burning it all to the ground, but spray that across. So I'm going to do what I've done previously in the front yard to kill some of those weeds, which is a combination of Insecticide, weed and grass killer, and Roundup glyphosate. So 2 or 3 different active ingredients involved in there. We'll spray it on, and then when I come back here later in the week, this stuff all should be good and dead. I overestimated my patience today. This is incredibly tedious with just a single nozzle to do all the square footage of this at a rate that's a gallon for every 300 square feet. So I got back by the trees, those trees. I got all along the fence line here, all of this down here, and I have made it about to the fence line, give or take, right about there. So that should all die off well enough that I can mark where I was. You can see how effective it was come next weekend, and we'll take another stab at it then to finish it off. So real quick, I just finished up doing the Roundup spraying in some of the areas in the back. I just talked about that. Got different shoes on than I had before. Do not, under any circumstances, wear the same shoes that you did glyphosate Roundup with and walk through stuff that you don't want to kill, because you're going to kill it. But with that, I cut the backyard on Friday. Then I made the decision when I cut the front yard to bring the height down, so I'm going to cut the back again at that height as well. Still a lot of dirt, a lot of the new grass. Hopefully we don't damage it too badly. I wouldn't recommend cutting back here, but I have so much mature grass that we need to keep it from getting out of hand. So let's go mow. Kind of out here in dusk, but this is 4 days after doing the glyphosate application here, and you can see back there is pretty well torched except for around the rocks there, which I told myself while I was spraying I'm going to come back and get that, and then I didn't. But yeah, all this is pretty well torched, and then this weekend we will spray the rest of it. You can see the sections over here also pretty well torched, so this will be good to finally get some of this under control, and then you can kind of look backyard doing not too bad. So I think we'll be able to come in. We're gonna have to see it again because like spots like down here haven't really done all that great, which is fine. We can see it again on top, and then just kind of hope for the best, and that'll probably be it for what we do this fall. Probably one more fertilizer application back here, and then we'll just keep cutting it over and over and over and over and over again and try to get it to spread back out like it did through the spring when we got it kind of all to thicken up. You'd have been able to see that before and after in July, where we kind of showed where the yard got to. Then I killed it, which don't tell anyone, it's fine. But now it's coming back and it's looking pretty good, and we'll just continue to bring it back. Hopefully the wind won't be too bad. But there we go, we double cut the new grass. It is really starting to fill in. Really starting to look good. Unfortunately, as we come over this way, you get some pretty serious disease problems. I have treated with Disease X, as I think I've mentioned a time or two already. But yeah, this is pretty yellow and dead back here. Maybe some blades coming in that aren't impacted. So we'll hope this comes back and does all right, but I don't know if the sun's still in a good spot. But before, from over here, man, it is looking nice through here. So good times. Cutting the rest of the front short. It's nutrient deficient. We've cut it shorter now. It does not like that. And that's just what's going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. It's not something that we're all that worried about, because all we care about is this nice little area right here. Man, can't wait to get some more sections of this put in out front. And while we're at it, quick look at the backyard as well. It's coming around. This wind chime. But yeah, we're coming along. Through here isn't great, but looking back that way, we're doing okay. It'll come back eventually, and it'll fill in much like it filled in this year, except this year was self-induced rather than last year where it was previous owner induced. But over here still looks fantastic. Well, good news, I did not get stung by any bees. Bad news, I don't think that did anything. So we're gonna have to come up with another option, which this might be. So the Home Depot by my house was out of the Bio Advanced fungicide with propiconazole, but that's the beauty of reading labels and knowing what the active ingredient is, because this Spectracide Immunox Plus insect control for lawns has the same active ingredient. So we're going to put that down on the new grass out front to try to assist the Disease X in dealing with and fighting off the rust spot and the disease that we got going on in there. Let's apply that. Quick review of Insecticide, fungus, and insect control. You saw the pace that I started walking at. Basically full sprint. That's the right speed for the Bio Advance bottle. That stuff comes out of there super quick. But you can see I had to go over the yard 4 or 5 times there to get half the bottle down, to get about around what the application rate recommends. So it'd be nice if somebody could come out with something between those two to just have a reasonable walking pace and a reasonable application pace be what gets you the right amount of product. But that's down. Scott's Disease X was down a week ago. So hopefully all of those can work together and help heal up that disease in the section on the front. Well, there we go. 8:30. 3 tanks of that 4-gallon backpack sprayer down. Probably 2, maybe 3 left to go in the front yard. Probably just 2. I'm gonna make 2 work. But there we go. Insecticide application halfway home. Again, here we are out at 8:30, and I'm out here sweating in long sleeves to not get torched by mosquitoes. But with kids, you can either, sleep, or you can have hobbies. And here we are in the dark, having hobbies. It's time to cut the backyard. It's rained quite a bit here as of late, so it is going to be muddy and a mess, but we got to do it anyway. So let's do it. Alrighty, so there we go. Cut on the backyard in the mud. It wasn't too bad, but it's starting to come up and fill in. Well, there we are. Not exactly the weekend as I had prescribed it, where I was going to spray the weeds behind the garage and I was going to finish up the application of the insecticide. Neither one of those things happened. The weather didn't agree with me today, and just our schedule in general. I was pretty busy this weekend, so I got some stuff done, which you've seen. Again, I'm out here in the dark because I just finished raking up behind me back there, which was a bit of an absolute mess from how wet it is, because I was essentially mowing in the rain. So trying to rake that out a little bit to not get the clumping on top. And that's all we have it. So thank you so much here from another pretty gorgeous evening here in southern Wisconsin. We've pretty much then outlined all the stuff we got to do next weekend now, which is finish up the insecticide application and finish killing the weeds behind the garage. And we'll keep keeping you updated and keep mowing this backyard renovation. We'll get after it as best we can. So thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.